8:12 at KPEL, Acadiana's Morning News. I'm Rob Kirkpatrick with Bernadette Lee, and it is almost a good problem to have that so many people want to live here and so many people want to keep building houses here that the area of Youngsville has come to be a little bit congested and have a little bit of problems adjusting to the new growth. A new plan for the future will be unveiled at an open house tomorrow night, but we hope to get a preview. Mayor Ken Ritter on the phone with us now. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you today?
So with the obvious problems that we see on the surface, traffic and other infrastructure problems, what do you hope to address in the city's first plan for the future?
We're going to be addressing a lot in this first plan. Our population growth since 1990, as everyone has been pretty well documented, has been about 350% since 1990. And we've been very fortunate to where we've had great developers and great development into our community. We've also had, we're ending our fourth year with over 400 residential and commercial building permits, and this year alone was over 800 new home sites that have been approved for development. So earlier this year when I took office, one of the first things I decided I wanted to do was to place a heavier emphasis on planning, and we're doing just that. So at the end of our first year, about second week of November, we were able to deliver our first ever master plan to the City Council. And right now we're in the public review period of that document. And tomorrow night we're having a open house and a town hall meeting to give our constituents the opportunity to review the plan, see what's inside of it, ask questions, make suggestions as to what should be in it in addition to what they already see. And then I'm going to go back and ask our council to adopt that plan. But I'm really proud of this plan because in the manner in which it was conducted, it was extensive work over the past 10 months. We did an assessment of all of our infrastructure in the city, from roads, water, sewer. We also looked at existing ordinances and processes. And we looked at what do we need to do to keep the growth and keep the reasons that have people moving to Youngsville sustainable. And I really think that this plan is going to serve as a roadmap and will be able to give us that guidance of how to move forward.
So we know about the percentage growth of 350%, which is wow, since 1990 of the number of people who are living there. Do you have any estimates for, let's just say, the next 10 years, how much it's expected to grow and how many houses Youngsville can handle?
I don't see anything slowing down with it. Despite the slowdown in the economy, this year has been one of continued growth, continued planning, and a busy year, rather, of continued growth, planning, and projects. So, of course, the variable of the economy is something that's on everybody's mind. But even if we grow half the number or just a quarter of the number that we have been growing, I still think that a plan is appropriate to make certain that we're on the same page. It makes it certainly easier for funding options. Historically, we've relied heavily on cash and on capital outlay to get projects done. But it's been well documented that the state capital outlay program may be a little bit more challenging over the next couple of years because of our state fiscal crisis. So what we're trying to do is to have a plan to where we can take and look for grants and other funding opportunities. This plan has about $50 million in capital improvement projects over the next 10 years. Naturally, if times do become hard, we may have to stretch it out to 15 years. But where this started from was this time last year, I partnered with UL's executive MBA class to really just do a growth guidance assessment of our city. And one of the things that was most disturbing to me was that our residents told us that less than half of our residents were really pleased in the manner that we were growing. So in order to address that, we've come up with a master plan. To me, the best thing about this plan is it's not a plan that's going to lead to another plan, and it's not a plan that's going to be put on a shelf.
Yeah.
This is a plan that's going to be a working document, and we can hit the ground running with it on the first day.
Well, and that's one of the big things I was going to ask you about, because there have been so many criticisms over the years, with Lafayette. Oh, gosh, now we have this comprehensive plan. Why didn't we use, Lafayette and a century plan, et cetera? I mean, you guys are really ready to go ahead with this. Did it cost you money, or you just had the local UL folks, or was there a real financial impact with this?
Well, we did a couple things. UL is how we started the process. UL's executive MBA class past worked with me on a growth guidance plan, and they're the ones that really steered us into the right direction. They did a broad assessment of how does the community feel, what do they identify as the strengths, the weaknesses of our community, and how do we really tackle what's working right and to make sure that we can continue it, and then what do we need to focus on that we're not doing today. And one of those components was a master plan. So the master plan we did with our new engineering firm, CH2M, they've done a fantastic job. They are our city engineers, and they're tasked with the responsibility of planning and also review of projects and to help me with just really oversight of where do we go from here. So it was a modest cost. It was a 1-year, one-time fee, so that way we can have this as a guideline of where to go. And it's going to be something that we can use. I'm using it already. This is a one-stop shop of our maps that show where our utilities are, where our water infrastructure are. When I took office, I didn't know if I had 5 miles of asphalt roads or 500 miles of asphalt roads. And this plan really assesses or made that assessment and also evaluated those roads and put them on a 1 to 5 scale for me. So that way, as we are in our budget process for the next fiscal year, we can really remove a lot of the politics and say, well, according to our plan, these are our worst roads, and let's tackle those.
Let me ask you, from your perspective as a councilman, now your perspective as a mayor, you know, people who live there, they probably have their own idea. I'm wondering from your perspective, Mr. Ritter, what is it that you think is so attractive about Youngsville and why people keep flocking to that area?
You know, there's several reasons. One is I think that we have a fantastic quality of life in the city of Youngsville. Youngsville's median age today is 32 years old. So naturally, when you have a young demographic like we do, parks, recreation, schools are very important. And we're very fortunate to where we have excellent schools in our community, not only the Lafayette Parish schools, but we have Ascension High School in our community. And we also have the Acadiana Renaissance Charter School, which is a phenomenal school as well. So when I ask people, when I see them in City Hall while they're moving in, why are you moving here? The quality of the schools is always top of mind. Secondly, they see the emphasis that we put on recreation with our 70-acre sports complex, and they want to be part of that. And then third option is we have had availability of housing options that have been affordable, new construction, and that's been attractive to bring people to our area as well.
Wow. Well, Mayor, we just want to say thank you so much for kind of giving us a highlight. And so what time will all of this take place tomorrow? And one more time about the location, et cetera.
Sure. So tomorrow night is when we're having our open house and our town hall meeting. The meeting is going to be held at Green Tea Elementary School, which is, as a lot of folks know, one of the oldest elementary schools, if not the oldest in the system. But I'm really proud of that school because the school system just completed a pretty extensive renovation of a multi-purpose room auditorium there. Green Tea Linden Elementary is at 603 Avenue B in the original heart of Youngsville. So we're going to be having the meeting there at 5 o'clock. It's an open house where residents can walk through, see maps with the different various projects and plans that we have in place. And then at 6 o'clock, we're going to kick it off with just a little bit of an overview and really allow residents to ask questions about, what's in it for me or what are you doing about this? And we will respond to every question that we have. Even if someone can't attend tomorrow and they want to view the plan online, they can submit questions. We'll respond to all of them and make sure that everyone's voice is heard before we adopt this plan.
Well, Mayor, we appreciate you joining us this morning. We will keep an eye on it for tomorrow and obviously report on it tomorrow and Wednesday, just at what the specifics of the plan are. We appreciate you joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
It's 8:22 now. News Talk 96.5 KPEL.